Welcome to the New World Order Showcase Podcast. Your host, Jill Hart, the Coach's Alchemist. Couldn't be more excited to have you join us today. On this podcast, we celebrate the champions of change, the up-and-coming life, health and transformational coaches who are fearlessly stepping forward to make a difference in the world. Get ready for inspiring stories, practical tips, and powerful moments that will motivate you to make a positive change in your life and those around you. We're happy to have you join us on this incredible journey as we dive into the world of life, health, and transformational coaches who are lighting up the path towards a better tomorrow.
Well,
welcome to the New World Order Showcase program. Today we are speaking with Jeanne Andrus. She is a menopause guru, and she's here to tell us all about how we can sleep better, feel better, and have more energy. So welcome, Jeanne.
Hi, Jill.
I always want to call
so
you
good
Jeanne.
to be. It's okay. That's the way it's spelled. But yes, I adopted the Cajun pronunciation of the name. So it's great to be here with you today.
So tell us all about you. I know you're traveling right now, which is kind of exciting.
I am traveling right now. My husband retired a couple of years ago, and we bought a travel trailer sort of toward the end of COVID, realizing that camping was a great way to see the country and not leave the dog behind. So we now spend a month or two in the summer away from Louisiana, which is also a good idea.
Good thing.
Traveling parts of the country that we really haven't had a chance to explore up till now. So we're having a great time doing it. I'm still working, so if anyone needs more information about what I do and how I do it, I am still working all summer, but I'm just doing it part-time.
The laptop life.
The laptop life, yes. And
you're running a marathon.
Well, no, I'm not running marathons. I'm running relay races.
They're as long as a marathon.
So I run relay races, which are 36 hours of running between places or around the woods, and it's a huge amount of fun. You just have to get used to doing it. It's not something for everybody, I would say.
Well, I admire you for getting out there and just participating. So tell us about the Menopause Guru. So
the Menopause Guru started when I was in my early stages of perimenopause. And in fact, looking back on it, I probably wasn't even in early stages. But I was angry, I was depressed, I had no libido left, and I was struggling. And it cost me my marriage. It almost cost me a job. Fortunately, I got out before I got fired. It was really very difficult for me, and I had no idea what was going on. I would talk to my doctor, and I talked to therapists, and all I got was, here's what to do for depression. And my gynecologist eventually hinted that this might be that I might be in perimenopause, but never anything about what to expect, what I would experience, what the symptoms were, why it was going on, nothing. And so I was clueless. And after my marriage broke up and I moved from one area of the country to another for for a lot of reasons. And I decided I needed to get healthy and happy again because it wasn't working the way it was. And so in a couple of ways, I kind of lucked out in that my choices were good choices for hormonal balance. And I started to rebalance my hormones. I felt better. I got healthier. I started doing crazy stuff like running and whitewater kayaking and things like that. And after a few years of being in a much better place myself, I decided that I wanted to do this for other women, to help other women understand what was going on, to ditch their symptoms, to reclaim themselves and their lives and really flourish, because someone who's going through all these symptoms isn't living her best life. And since menopause, the process can take 10 to 20 years, that's a long time to leave yourself out of your best life. And
Absolutely.
so I started coaching, I started writing, I started speaking, I started doing a podcast and a TV show about it. And now that's really what I do, is help women get through this, understand it, and move their way through it. And I have a huge number of modalities that I use when I do it, when I work with a woman. So I might use hypnotherapy, I might use Reiki, I might use stress management techniques. Diet and exercise are part of it. Depends on what the particular woman needs and what she's experiencing to really find her best path through menopause.
So I've listened to your workshops in the past and been really impressed. One of the things that you do talk about is the different stages. So do you want to just cover those quickly with everybody? Because I think a lot of people don't really know the difference between the different stages and what you can expect.
And really our even our science language, even our medical language doesn't really cover it, because perimenopause is a word that means near menopause. And it's applied to women who, to that stage of life in which your reproductive system has started shutting down. You're not ovulating regularly anymore, whatever regular was for you. And so you've gone from a monthly or a little more or a little less, depending on you, ovulation to sporadic ovulation. You might miss one cycle, you might miss 2 or 3 cycles and then go back to having cycles. You might have more frequent cycles even. And that's all really sort of the early perimenopausal stage. And you may have symptoms, or you may have symptoms that come and go fleetingly, but it's not a real solid thing that you can put your finger on. And therefore, a lot of doctors don't put their finger on it. And even there, some of the older doctors don't even see it as part of perimenopause. They say it's something else going on. So your doctor may not help. Then you come to late perimenopause. And this is a time in your life when most people would agree that menopause is on its way. So you may be skipping periods, you may be having heavy periods, you might have periods that go away for 4 to 6 months and then come back. It's sort of late perimenopause. And you can be pretty sure that something's going on with you. Menopause is the day that you haven't had a period for a year. So it's the first anniversary of your last period. And truly, that is the point at which you can expect never to get pregnant again without intense medical intervention, or ever have a period again under normal circumstances. If you do, it's a problem. Go talk to your doctor. If you do have a period after that 1 year mark. So menopause is just a day, and it can be celebrated as the last time you can expect to have a period. Everything after that is postmenopause. but your hormone levels your body slowly adapts to its new hormonal levels to a greater or lesser extent. Some women, they get 6 months postmenopausal and they feel great again. Other women never ever feel symptom free again. So it's an interesting situation in which our hormones change. And if we don't do something to maximize the hormone levels that we have left, which can be done naturally, it doesn't need to be done with drugs, it doesn't need to be done with hormone replacement, but if we maximize the hormonal balance that we have left, we can live an incredibly fulfilled, exciting, wonderful life. And I'm living proof of it, because I don't take any drugs for this. I don't take any hormones for this, but I feel fantastic 90% of the time. Okay, after those long runs, not so much. But once I'm rested, I feel better.
I would have to say that also on the other side of menopause, that it's the better part of life to me. I had lots of kids and I enjoyed that part of my life, the reproducing part of my life, but just having the freedom to not worry about getting pregnant. I don't know how about you, but I spent an inordinate amount of time in my life worried about, am I going to get pregnant, or am I pregnant, or wanting to be pregnant? Just like my life was consumed with this, my reproductive system, and it just like seemed so unfair at the time, and now it's just like, yeah, that's
yes. And you can recover your libido, you can recover your sex life, and
I'd say it's better now than it was then.
Yeah, it really can
put it
be
out there on the table.
And for some women, it doesn't come back, and I feel sorry for women who are in that position, but they can also be really, really happy and fulfilled in a low libido situation. So libido is something that, where yours is really dependent. Whether you're okay with it is really dependent on you, whether this is someplace you want to be. So yeah, it can be an amazing time of life. And as I tell the women I work with, and I cover this in my book, one of the best things about menopause and even perimenopause is that we start to stop regarding other people's needs, wishes, and opinions as something that we need to be listening to. So we can stop being people pleasers. We can stop feeling like we need to be the person to take care of everybody else's needs, and that we can be the person that we want to be. Now, I'm not going to say that means you're going to be totally selfish and self-centered and not do anything for anybody. But it's a choice. It's a choice that you get to make at this time of your life. And it's wonderfully empowering. And you get to say, this is who I want to be right now. So I could be saying I have to be the perfect grandmother. Or I could say, I'm going to be a great grandma when I show up with my grandkids. And when I'm not there, there is a whole lot of stuff I want to do with my life, like travel all over the country, like run these crazy races that I run. And it's wonderful.
It really is wonderful when you get to that point in your life where it's just like, okay, I can step into being me, who I am, and you can take me or leave me. It's up to you. I don't have to be part of your life. I can be part of your life, but I don't have to be.
Right. And it's so much of what I deal with on an ongoing basis is that women believe that they did something wrong in in being people pleasers or taking care of other people's needs for that time of their lives. But the truth is, that's the way our bodies are programming us. And so we do spend that time when we're raising our kids pointing at other people to make sure that we stay in a relationship with them. That's a part of what our biology is telling us to do. Whereas when we hit this stage of our lives, we get a chance to say, oh, maybe I want to make different choices for myself. And we get to do that. It's amazing.
So empowering, honestly.
Absolutely.
Some people, I know in my relationship with my husband, it's changed a lot. We've been married for, gosh, almost 29 years now. And it's on the one hand, when we were raising the kids and we had to do all of these things in order to, just keep the family going, it was one thing. And he made a lot of sacrifices. But as he's retired and I'm doing stuff that I want to do now, it's been a whole new dynamic, and it's really sparked a relationship because you're not just like stuck in these roles that you played for so long. And it's I keep saying it's empowering, but it's freeing. You're just like, you can do wild and crazy things.
Exactly. And I wrote a book designed for women to help their men understand what's going on. For me, that didn't happen because I didn't know what was going on, and our relationship was changing. My ex and I, our relationship was changing, and we didn't have a framework to put it into. If I had known what was going on, it would have made a big difference in how we related to each other and got through that period of time of our lives. As it was, that wasn't what he wanted. He didn't want to have to do the work. And therefore, our relationship fell apart. Now,
happens to a lot of people, a lot of women out there who they don't know what's happening to them and they can't express it, and it bubbles up as rage. And a lot of it is just
a lot of it is anger. A lot of it comes out as anger because we see ourselves, and it's almost like the switch turns on and we say, oh, people pleasing, that's not good. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to stop doing that. And the guy or the children or the sister or the mom flip out because they don't know what's happening to you and why you're changing like this. And so it creates conflict. And so the relationships, one of the cool things about it is it gives you an opportunity to reframe and rebuild that relationship. Sometimes it doesn't last. Sometimes it does. And that's wonderful.
But it's okay. Either side is okay.
Either side is okay.
And as you step into your power and you realize that, it just, your whole life opens up for you because the possibilities are actually endless, especially right now.
Yeah. I see so many women say, this is what I was meant to do. At this time of their lives, they realize that they are meant to be something different in the world than they were 10, 20 years ago. And
I think because of it, the world is changing. It's becoming a better place.
Yeah. And you learn in a lot of ways, you learn how to deal with people and talk with people and be in relationships with people that don't rely on that same dynamic of you doing everything for people. And it's really an amazing situation for our lives that we get a chance to choose who we want to be.
I agree so much. It's been such a great part of my life. It's probably been 15 years now.
Yeah.
It's been a minute, maybe closer to 20, but excuse me. I just like, I'm getting to do things that I never would have dreamed I would be in this situation, and be able to help people in a way that makes me feel good, and without having to do the people pleasing thing. It's like,
yeah,
so,
you can choose your own boundaries. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Boundaries is kind of a new thing.
So yeah, boundaries are something that I teach my clients. And very often they have not thought about setting boundaries with the people they spend their time with, because they've always been in this idea of doing for others. And
Right.
you know, you can do for others without giving yourself away. How's that for
Yes, that's true.
yeah.
And you can value yourself.
Yeah.
And by boundaries do add value to who you are, because you're not available for everyone, nor should you be available for everyone. But I know that you have written the book. I know that you have group programs, or is it just one-on-one coaching? How does that look when people work with you?
So the way people work with me mostly is one-on-one. I teach a class, and I teach it fairly often myself, in a group setting, and it is available if that's all you want, is just to learn what's happening. And it's an informational class. So that I'll probably teach again starting in August sometime. I haven't really set a date for it, but I think it's going to be in August. But the primary way people work with me is one-on-one, because everyone's symptoms look differently. Everyone's journey is going to be different, because you have different history, you have a different body, you have different ways that you eat and exercise, and different stresses in your life. So it's going to affect you differently. And so my one-on-one coaching program is designed to take a woman who is experiencing a number of symptoms and find the right holistic health plan to maximize that hormonal balance, and also add in some elements of life coaching, like going back and getting rid of some old beliefs and
All
thoughts
the trauma
around
we
things,
drag
thoughts
around.
around things that have happened. Women generally do not reach their late 40s without having experienced at least some trauma. And so if it's mild, we do it ourselves. If it's really complex, I refer it out. I'm not a trauma informed counselor, so I do have people on my referral list to help with that. So we do things like reversing some, dealing with some trauma, getting rid of old beliefs about stupid stuff that's getting in the way. I was working with a client the other day who felt like she couldn't go to bed if she didn't have her dishes washed. And, okay, it's a good thing to get your dishes washed and your kitchen clean, but it's also okay to just say, I'm tired, it's time to go to bed. Forget it, I'll do them in the morning. Or, honey, the dishes need doing. So those are things that we grow up, we have these silly beliefs, and it's usually our mom in our head saying, you can't go to bed with dirty dishes. So getting rid of some of that stuff, getting rid of things that have plagued us from before, setting boundaries, re-examining your values, your what it is that you want, your dreams, your visions for yourself. So it's a combination of health coaching and life coaching that's all informed by what your body is, how your body is changing the way you think, the way you feel, the way you approach your relationships, your weight, everything about you is changing because of this hormonal change in your body. And we deal with all of those things. And like I said, we deal with sleep, we deal with stress, we deal with what the best diet for you is, the best nutrition and exercise plans. So I've added recently, which is really cool, I've added six what I call intensives. I hate the word intensive because it isn't intense, but it's quick. And it's designed for quick symptom relief around some of the most obnoxious symptoms that we have, around brain fog and being able to focus and concentrate, around hot flashes, around mindful eating, around insomnia, and around just overall relaxation. And then finally, if you happen to still be addicted to those cigarettes that are now even greater health risk for you, I have a program specifically around stopping smoking so that you can get that out of the way and then deal with the rest of the symptoms in a more sane manner. And it's based in hypnotherapy, but it also brings in the Reiki, and it brings in habit formation and stress management. So that's just recently I've started working with that, and they're all amazing. They're getting amazing results with the clients I'm working with those. Yeah.
Well, I know your clients get results because, like I said, I was at your workshops, and the strategies that you talk about for getting sleep, they work.
Oh, that's the other one. That's the other one. It's not relaxation, it's sleep.
that important one.
Yeah, that important one. 90% of women have periods of time between two months and 20 years of insomnia and fatigue during their menopausal years, during their menopause journey. So it's super important. It throws your hormonal balance off, just not sleeping. And so fixing how you feel is so dependent on fixing how you sleep. And the insomnia program has just revolutionized women's lives. Just done amazing things. And then
just getting good quality sleep makes such a difference in our lives.
And it's a 5-session program. I don't even require it to be 5 weeks long. So if somebody's really agonizing over sleep, we can do 5 sessions in a couple of weeks and just revolutionize how they feel and how they get sleep and waking up in the morning. So yeah, I'm super excited about those.
So are they happening right now, or are these the things that are going to be happening in August?
No, they're happening right now. The lovely thing about this trip I'm taking is we've built in plenty of leisure and plenty of time for me to take care of my clients right now, even while I'm on the road. When we jump on Zoom, it looks different than when I'm at home because I'm in my camper, but it's all done over Zoom. So I just schedule appointments around our travel times.
Perfect. So what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this conversation today?
Oh, let's see. How about a 3-parter? Can I do a 3-parter?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Menopause happens to every woman sooner or later if she lives long enough. And living long enough, by the way, means 42 or 43, because that's when it starts happening. The second thing is menopause is normal. There is nothing abnormal or diseased or malfunctioning in your body stopping having periods, stopping ovulating. That's perfectly normal. And unfortunately, so are many of the symptoms. And the third thing is that when you get beyond the symptoms, when you have your body back under your control, menopause is the most immense gift that you could possibly have.
That is so beautiful and so true. I love that, John.
It's sometimes hard to believe if you're in the middle of it, that it can be a gift, but work with somebody who can help you resolve the symptoms in a way that's not taking away from your body, in a way that doesn't have horrible side effects. The side effects of my program, the biggest side effect that people have working with me is they lose weight. Or if losing weight is their problem, they stop losing weight and they find themselves at a healthy weight and feeling great in their body again. Those are side effects we can all live with, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So how can people get in touch with you? How can women get in touch with you?
People can get in touch with me at, you can reach out to me at Jeanne Delaney Andrus, Dulaney. Andrus is Andrus. I am on Facebook. I do accept personal friend requests from women who are interested in help around menopause. I have a page called Menopause Guru on Facebook. You can find me at menopausebooks.com and menopause.guru. I'm there, and you can email me at jeanne@menopause.guru. So those are all ways that someone can get in touch with me. You can also catch me on my podcast, Menopause Matters, or my TV show on Phoenix, Fenix, for people who want to spell it the right way, phoenixapp.tv. And again, it's Menopause Matters, and that's my TV show. We talk all things menopause on those shows, and I really love it, connecting with listeners, with women who are struggling with menopause and need to get it fixed. You don't need to go a decade or more without fixing this.
Yeah, and just Jeanne knows what she's talking about. Let me tell you. just from the workshop, my sleep I've been able to just fall asleep so much easier. And it's just like, I'm indebted to you, Jeanne. I'm indebted.
On menopause.guru, I will post the date of the next live workshop. It should be within 2 weeks. I just have to look to make sure that it's a night that we'll be in a stationary campground and not trying to pull into a campground at 10 o'clock at night. So I will be doing that again really soon. And it is a good workshop. It's for people who aren't sleeping well. And I teach a couple of my favorite techniques for getting a better night's sleep.
And they really work. So if you're struggling at all, you're definitely going to want to get at least tuned in for the workshop and get a hold of Jeanne. She will fix you right up. Thanks so much for being part of our show today, Jeanne.
Thank you so much for having me, Jill.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the You World Order Showcase podcast. We hope you've enjoyed hearing from our incredible life, health, and transformational coaches who are making a profound impact on the world. Remember, change begins with you, and you have the power to transform your life and the lives of others. If you want to take that next step and unlock your true potential, visit thecoachesalchemist.com, where you can find the 3 ways we can help you for free to spin your talent into gold with clarity, a system, and a plan. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an inspiring episode. And if you enjoyed today's show, we'd greatly appreciate it if you could leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback means the world to us and helps us reach more people with our positive message. Stay connected with us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and upcoming guest announcements. You can find us on Facebook at The You World Order or simply visit thecoachesalchemist.com.